one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call the roll.
Vice Mayor Clark,
Here.
Commissioner Cohen,
Here.
Clerk Commissioner Jacobs,
Here.
Commissioner DeVille,
Here.
Mayor Mohammed.
And where is she? Because this is her items.
Okay, when she walks in, she can take over, but we have to learn to be punctual. I had to drop things to come here, so
Okay.
everybody should also have to do that. And I'm sure you want to go. You said you had a party
Well,
to go
I'm
to.
not, these are her items, and she should be here for these items.
I don't think the golf cart's her item.
Everything.
The two items that are on her are,
Her items, okay.
Still
I
need the
got you.
attorney or no?
I don't know.
Still
But
need
we're
the
gonna,
attorney,
if the
right?
attorney can't be here, in other words, I'm not trying to be a smart ass here. I'm trying to say, if we're gonna have a meeting, everybody's gonna take time to come
well,
up here.
if we're having this meeting, the mayor needs to be here.
Okay, I said I wasn't trying to be smart. What's wrong with that? Is that bad?
But it was a smart A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you correct me. I'll get in line.
This is a memo that the attorney sent this afternoon. I'll go ahead and pass it out to you regarding the cards. I just saw it after 5.
Okay.
Well, it gives us time to look at this until our mayor gets
Look
here.
at that until the mayor gets here and he gets here.
Can you call the mayor, find out where she's at?
Sure.
But if she's not here, I'm not gonna,
Then
I'm
we
gonna
won't do it.
leave.
We'll
I'm
close
gonna
it
leave.
down.
We're gonna
Okay,
close it
that's
down.
fair.
I'll
That's
call
fair.
her.
We were
I
here.
mean,
We
I'm
did
gonna
it.
stick around for 10 minutes, and if she's not
Yes,
here,
that's right.
I think we should close the meeting.
I agree.
I'll call
That's a
her.
better way. That's a good suggestion.
You all read till I
Okay.
come back.
That's a good suggestion, because we were here.
I mean, she called this special, it's Halloween, you know, you have kids that wanna go out trick or treating, you know, it's not fair to, families.
I don't think so. No, I gotta get home so I can hand candy out, otherwise they're gonna egg my house.
They still do that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, are you
Well,
kidding
no,
me?
what they've done is I walked in the house to go get something and come back and left the candy bowl thinking they would be honest.
It's gone.
The candy bowl is
The
gone,
whole bowl.
the whole bowl. And I was like, they could have just took the candy because that was one of my favorite bowls.
So what's Chris saying? What did he say? Did he say we can't do it, we can do it? What did he say?
Sounding like we can't do it, but we could do one. Is this your first time seeing this,
That was 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
What are they saying? What is he saying to us?
Saying we can't do it?
Anything over here, he needs to bring it.
Have it set.
Without him being here, we don't know what his opinion is.
Yeah, so
It's
we'll-
all hearsay without him being here.
So we'll just cancel, we'll drop the meeting. We were here for the mayor. We
Let me call
obliged her.
Chris and see where he is.
She's not here.
Or wait
She
here?
said she'll be here in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
See, Chris McKine's supposed to be bringing some more quotes or something, I don't know. I told her I haven't seen him.
So where's the attorney at?
I'm calling him now. He's out there? Oh, okay. Cancel that.
Oh, Harry's there, good.
Good. Harry better be here. He's the money man. Little ones want to go out there.
Oh,
You almost hear a pin drop?
sir.
Okay, Chris, we've opened it up. We're waiting on you and the mayor. It's the mayor's items, what I've heard so far. If the mayor doesn't show up in time in 10 minutes, then we're gonna just bring it up at another time. But we can, okay, do you wanna, if I may, commissioners, I'm gonna go forward and keep this thing rolling. Do you wanna explain your memo?
Yeah, I looked at the proposals that they had received for the golf carts, and you have a whole variety of items here. They're not really of the same make and model, year, so they're not exactly, you know, for comparison price. It's hard to compare prices on different golf carts when you have all different years and models, and so I didn't think they were close enough that they would fit the requirement that you have the similar or the same item with the proposal. The two that are similar were attached to the memo. And these, the one from the Broward Guard electric car and equipment. That's the quote 91551 in the upper right. And the other is the A&A parts and carts. That's the proposal 3007. Those are similar enough that you could select between those two items. If you want to move forward with that.
Well, we have to wait for the mayor. And the public works director is not here, because that's over in his bailiwick.
So you're saying the two we can go ahead with?
Well, you can do whatever you want, but I would recommend that you not,
Not do it?
that if you're going to make a selection, you should, the two that are just read off,
Okay, the one-
those two match close enough so that you can
Okay.
compare them and actually have, you know,
Fair enough,
similar items.
I'm sorry, Attorney Ryan, could you speak up just a little?
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, the other one, the other items, like I said, I don't think they're similar enough. It's hard to compare prices when you're looking at different years and models, and some are new and some are used. I mean, it's kind of the whole spectrum of choices here.
So, what's the problem? You just feel like it's not consistent, it's not similar enough?
Correct. Yeah, you want, when you competitively bid, you generally have to, you give a exact description of the item that you're looking to purchase. Okay, you say you're looking for the 2019 Ford F-150, and then you get proposals from different vendors, so, and hopefully they all give you the same vehicle with the same features, and then you can look at the prices, price 1, price 2, price 3, and then you make your selection. Here you have a variety of different items that aren't really all exactly the same, so it's hard for you to compare them side by side.
Go ahead and take the gavel. So, okay, so I understand. So really not enough work's been done on it. Is that the way you feel?
Well,
We can
I
get
don't
a
know.
better price, man? Are we doing the right thing here?
I think when you need to, when you give your solicitation, you have to have a detailed solicitation of what you want from the vendor, so then they give you an item that matches what you're asking for.
Just saying, just set parameters for when we get these quotes, so they're all on
Correct.
the same page.
That's exactly right.
I think he's saying so you can compare apples to apples, and then if you need to do oranges to oranges.
And you know what?
Right now it's apples compared to oranges.
You know what I didn't do, Agatha, if I may? I better just read the item, so we did this thing in sequence. Okay, so this is under new business, and then Madam Mayor, you could take the gavel. 4.1, discussion authorization to purchase golf carts, Mayor Mohammed. So that's your item.
Pounds item, I was just trying to facilitate the process because of the fact that we have the health fair in 2 days, and I didn't want to waste $1,300 renting the 2 golf carts versus purchasing it for $3,800 and having to return it on Sunday. So Chris did the research on purchasing 2 different golf carts, one for the community garden as well as one for the Parks Department. He said that the quotes for A&A and Broward Electric were for the same used cart because he was told to purchase a used cart, not a new cart.
Who told him to purchase that?
Todd.
Okay.
So he said that he priced a couple of different ones, and so that's why he gave us what all the prices that he got. He was currently on the phone trying to get a comparison of the other cart that they had, one of the companies had thrown in. He said, but as far as the Broward Electric cart and the AA cart, they were identical. One was $3,400 and the other one was $52. They were for a 2016 EasyGo electric golf cart that's been reconditioned. And so if you look at this page and this page, these are the same, just that one is $5,000 for the used cart, the other one is $3,800 for the used cart. And so that's
Okay,
what you,
okay, here's what you're gonna have to do, though, for me, if you would, madam. The attorney sent a memo, you probably need to come up to speed with that and
no,
look
I
at
saw
it.
the memo.
You saw the memo,
He
okay.
called me first. He called me at 4:30 this evening.
Okay, so he's giving reference numbers 91551 and then another number 3007. So he's saying that that appears to be okay to do, but he has a problem with other ones, and you're gonna have to question him because it's not apples to apples in a similar range or similar parts or whatever the description is. So he has a problem with that. So when you turn pages and you say, you're gonna have to tell me, you know, if you would tell me the number that you're referring to, is it one of the two that he's talking about that seems to be okay, or is it
Yes.
one of the others?
They are the ones that he said was okay, which is what you're looking at here. Broward Electric, AA, that's what's in the packet that he gave you.
Who's
Attorney Ryan.
he? Okay. So
Okay, so if everyone can pull out the packet that Attorney Ryan gave. And if you look on the quote for 91551, as well as the quote 3007, they're the same.
No, he said one was higher.
Where is it on the number?
Well, the price is different.
Oh,
Right
yeah,
up
that's
there.
why he
Okay.
said those were similar apples to
Oh,
apples.
okay.
So the
The-
golf cart is the same. Okay, so we can either pay $3,400 for a 2016 EasyGo golf cart 48 volt, or we can pay $5,200 for a 2016 EasyGo electric 48 volt golf cart. So what Chris is asking, because I couldn't tell you anything about a golf cart, that is not my specialty. I don't golf. I don't care to golf, and I don't know anything about golf carts. Chris is asking for permission to purchase the Broward electric cart for $3,863.
And I'm gonna try to just help a little here, and the reasoning is we would save money by not having to go out and rent.
Correct.
So that would be put into something.
And why is Chris not here?
Because Chris wasn't offered any overtime. Like to,
So maybe we should move this to the meeting.
well, the event is Saturday, so we can spend the $1,300 renting the two for Saturday and then purchasing it later, but then we won't get the $1,300.
Right,
because
I
we won't
understand
apply
what
it
the
to
argument
purchase of the
is.
cart.
The
Okay,
argument makes sense, Gina.
I
It does.
understand, but
But-
is this money budget?
It is budgeted.
Oh, yeah, I think
There's,
so.
it's in the
Where's
budget
Harry?
for 2 golf carts, one for the
Yeah.
parks and recs and one for the community garden.
Yeah.
So a 4-passenger is budgeted, as well as a 2-passenger hauler golf cart.
Okay.
Those 2 items are in the budget.
Just have Harry verify that, right?
That's, I wanted him to verify it.
Did somebody shake their head no? Oh, no, that was just my imagination.
The golf carts are in the budget, total value, budget.
I'm sorry, Harry. You could speak a little louder.
And
Oh,
who
where's
you
the
are.
microphone?
Right here. I thought I was gonna say.
Hello?
The two golf carts are budgeted.
Harry, state your name for the record, sorry.
Harry Taubenfeld, Budget and Finance. To answer your question, the 2 golf carts are included in the budget.
Do you know what the total budget amount is for the 2 golf carts?
I believe it's 13,000 and change.
My next question, may I go on, continue?
Go ahead.
Okay, my next question would be, managers, assistant and manager, Ms. Manager. What are your feelings on this? On the golf carts?
We will do what the commission instruct us to do.
Okay. But do you feel that we need these golf carts, or?
No, well,
Why, we have
she-
golf carts, why are we
yeah, but
getting more?
No, because a director put it in the budget. It was approved by all of us, and you asked the questions back then. Now, alls they're doing is
Well,
coming.
Howard, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know, and I agree with you, but you're
Okay.
also saying, they're telling you, the manager and assistant manager, they really are gonna carry out what we say, and that's the way it should be, not their personal opinion, just like the attorney says, I can't answer that, that's up to you. So,
Well, I respect their opinion.
of course, and you have plenty.
That's why they're here and that's why they're in place.
And that's why we have budget hearings, that's why we went through, now, if it was not budgeted, I'd be up here right now, boom, no, okay? But it's budgeted, and we discussed it, and I remember Harry mentioning it when he
So
was.
why at the last minute? I mean, why didn't we do this at the last meeting?
What I'm hearing,
This is all last minute stuff.
what I agree, I agree. In fact, I said, how come all of a sudden we're having special meetings when commissioners said no to special meetings, and now we're having them? But, okay, I would still want to go forward, but I understand what the mayor's argument is. Her argument is, we could save $1,300 instead of renting, put it into into these vehicles. That makes good sense to me. That's why I would, that makes good sense unless somebody could find something wrong.
Well, the issue that I have is, number one, is that it was a budgeted item. We know that it was supposed to be moving forward, especially prior to the event, knowing that we always rent this and it was not done. And I'm not sure where the ball got dropped at on this. But in the process of the young lady doing the event and ordering all the things we needed, it was, well, where's the golf cart? We had the conversation last year. We had the conversation during the budget as well to move forward and get the quotes to purchase the golf cart. The budget was set already. We know that we need it, and no one did their job in moving forward and getting the quotes and doing it.
Excuse me, may I say something?
Yes.
In all defense to our staff, anything over $1,500 has to come back to the commission, and that's why we're bringing it back. Things are budgeted, but we have to follow the process and the order in which they should be.
Okay, so what we need to do is set a timeline on things that are in the budget so that they can be quoted and the procurement process could be followed in a timely manner in the future. We have the things budgeted. We know that. We had this conversation last year for the health fair because we constantly rent these golf carts every single year. And I'm not sure whose responsibility it is to go through the budget and see what items are budgeted that we're supposed to purchase and get that process done of getting the quotes. So with that being said, I asked them, where are we with getting the quotes for this? Because the health fair is coming up. The health fair is coming up, and I'm tired of being the nagging person to say, can we get the quotes and move forward? I asked for the special to do this, but this should have been done last
A
month.
long time ago.
Well, it should have been done a long time ago.
Yes. Not tonight,
You know,
on Halloween night.
unfortunately, right now, we have the event coming up. We have two options. We can either take the money that's in the budget for the golf cart to purchase one of the golf carts that is budgeted for this year, or we can rent the two golf carts, which we need for the event, and then purchase it whenever somebody else decides to go ahead and go through the process of securing quotes and moving forward with the item. So those are the two options on the table.
Well, can I say,
Yes.
these are used golf carts.
Mhm.
Right. So why would we want to buy used? Because when you buy used, you're buying somebody else's problems.
That is what
I think we
Todd
should.
directed. That's what's, okay, so.
I
I'll
mean,
give
if
you
we're
this.
gonna get something, you get something new, not used, and I think that should be, that we should talk about this another time, and we should,
Go ahead and rent and
Right,
spend the
yeah.
$1,300 to rent. Okay, so the purchase price of a new one is $7,000. The purchase price of a used one that has been reconditioned so that it's supposed to be as close as new to possible is $5,000, $3,000 to $5,000. So they budgeted $10,000 for two. So think about how you want to do this. Do you want to increase the budget to cover a brand new one? I mean, Todd directed them to
we
purchase.
can't increase it now. It's too late to increase
No.
it. We've already done the budget.
So,
I
I mean, give me direction. Listen, all I know is I need two golf carts on Saturday.
I'm not in favor for this right now.
I'll bring it up at another time.
Okay, so
Give
then
us
we'll,
more time.
we'll rent it in the meantime, but unfortunately, there's a issue with the budget for the health fair. So, we'll see what we can do to get through the health fair.
How many golf carts do we have right now? I thought we had like 3 of them or 4.
No, those are rentals. We
Oh,
rent those
wow.
every single event for $1,300 every single event.
I think we should rent them.
You wanna put some input?
I think we go ahead. The longer we sit here, the money that we're saving in the $1,300 is going to the expense of the attorney and the staff being here. So I say we go ahead, we get the one used golf cart. That saves us some money for the long run. We can take care of the other one down the road. So
Well, ASAP, because you need them from both places as what is budgeted.
A
Well,
golf
let me
cart's
ask you
a
a
golf
question.
cart.
Let me ask the finance and budget director. If we get a used golf cart, if you don't mind, may I? May I, Jeffrey? If I- Okay. If we order, because I'm trying to put my head around it, if we buy this used one, let's say the 5,200 one, is there still money in the budget to buy one at another time?
The budget has $13,800, I believe $50 to be exact, allocated for the 2
Buy a
golf carts.
brand new one. We could actually get, so to
Buy the used one and buy a new one.
buy a used one and buy a new one.
Yeah, a new one next time.
Yeah, well, next, we put it
Next
back on the
meeting.
agenda, yeah.
for someone who does play golf and drives golf carts from time to time, you can't tell a 2000 from a 2016. It's a golf cart. They have an electric motor, they have batteries, you replace them when need be. As soon as they get out here in the parks and they start getting used, they're gonna be a little on the abuse side. I say it's better to save the money now, get the used cart, maybe get
Okay.
another used cart. You wouldn't know the difference, 2 sitting side by side.
I don't know
So,
nothing
yeah,
about golf
they're-
carts, so.
All it is, electric motor and batteries.
I just know that
That's
when
it.
you buy something used, you're buying somebody else's problems.
Well, not, okay, I have to say, I've owned an Easy Go
Okay.
for 20 years, all right, and they're wonderful. You see me going up and down the road, Sheena,
Yeah, and I see you stopping and
and doing.
And
But
charging
The thing of it is, charging, what do you mean by charging?
the battery.
No, you don't see me, those it lasts. Now, what'll happen, if you take
It's all
care
right.
of
No, let's just
every
move it
5
along.
years or so, you have to change the battery.
All right, let's
But
move
I
it
agree
along.
with Jeffrey, it's a golf cart and they're well-built, especially when I see here the Easy Go is really a good golf cart.
No, I don't know anything about golf carts. I don't own
Yeah,
one.
well,
I
we're
never
trying to
had
tell
one,
you,
so.
Jeffrey said his opinion,
But now
and
you
I've had
explained
one
it
for
to
a
me,
long
so
time,
let's
and I
move
love
on.
my golf cart.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't charge it, it runs very well. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I kind of agree with what Jeffrey, maybe we should buy 2 used ones and get it over with. 'Cause they are pretty simple.
We only have this one on the table right now. Let's take care of this one. We'll work,
Yeah.
Just one
work
now?
with the other at another meeting.
Take
Let's
the other
keep
one.
moving along.
Next
Apples
week,
to
okay.
apples, so.
So that'll be the next, put it on the next
Well, it's
meeting.
The next one
We
is
just
gonna
have to
be the
increase the
flatbed
quantity.
one.
Can we just increase the quantity to 2?
No, I think it's,
No.
no.
Just keep it where we
Keep it
have
where it is. We'll do
Okay,
another
he
one
wants
at
a
another
different-
workshop.
One of the golf carts is a 4-passenger, the other golf cart is one to haul
Oh, okay.
the equipment and stuff around. It's a flat, I wanna say a flatbed, but I know that's not the proper term for it.
But
has
we,
the flat
we
back.
do need a golf cart to take people around, because we have dignitaries coming here, and somebody's always walking, we don't have a big enough cart to carry 4 people. So well, put it on, if I may ask, could you put that on the agenda for the next meeting, that when we'll do it properly? Let Chris keep going out, get together with Todd, do it, and then, but right now, I would go, I
So
agree
you
with
all
you.
are asking for it to go on the agenda to purchase or get quotes for golf carts?
Okay, here's what I think is
Is that
going
what
on.
you're
Right
saying?
now, I believe Jeffrey is gonna make a motion, is what I'm seeing,
I'm ready to do it.
to buy one used golf cart. Which one, the 5,200 or
Nope.
the 3?
$3,800 one.
Okay, and I agree with what he's doing here, and then put down on the agenda for this month, November, golf carts. So we can buy a good golf cart also, the 4-seater, but have it done right, the backup and.
The agenda is being finished, we will publish it tonight, so we need all of your documentation by tomorrow.
So maybe you have to put it the following month then, right? Okay, following month.
So you want it on the workshop
I
on
would say-
December?
Yeah, I would say yes, yeah. And let's get the golf carts out of the way, because as the mayor said, we are short golf carts. And then next year at the health fair, you'll have 2 extra golf carts. And then,
All right, I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and purchase the,
That's a resolution, I think.
Let's go ahead and do it by resolution if you don't
Okay.
mind. It's a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, authorizing the town to purchase the golf cart, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute and deliver all required documents to complete the purchase, superseding conflicting resolutions and provide an effective date. Whereas staff has requested that town purchase 2 golf carts for use by the town staff, and whereas the funds necessary for the purchase of the 2 golf carts have been appropriated for this purpose in the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget, and whereas the town staff has solicited proposals from qualified vendors for the purchase of 2 golf carts in compliance with the town procurement ordinance requirements, and whereas the town staff has reviewed the proposals from the qualified vendors and recommends that the town purchase 1 golf cart from Broward Electric Golf Car and Equipment for the purchase price not to exceed $3,900 for the cart, and whereas the town commission concurs with the staff recommendation for the purchase of the golf cart. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, Section 1, that the town authorize the purchase of 1 golf cart from Broward Electric Car and Equipment for the purchase price not to exceed $3,900 for the purchase of the golf cart as set forth in the Attachment 2's Exhibit A. Section 2, that the mayor is authorized and directed to execute and deliver all required documents to complete the purchase of the golf cart. Section 3, that all resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict herewith being the same are hereby superseded to the extent of such conflict. Section 4, that this resolution shall be enforced and take effect.
motion
Special
to
adopt.
adopt. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan?
The second was, I'm sorry, was
I
approved by.
second.
Okay, Vice Mayor Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Commissioner Cohen,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Jacobs,
yes.
Mayor Mohammed. Yes.
And then, Madam Mayor, through the chair, Agatha, or Madam Manager, would you please put this item down for the December workshop?
I have it down.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 2, discussion authorization to transfer funds to allow for overtime pay. So basically, the overtime pay is estimated to be approximately $6,000 for the health fair.
No, there's another analysis sheet that should be seen. I don't see that one.
Okay, wait, I see it. It's the top one.
Okay.
When you click on it, though, it's
It's-
kind of touchy, sensitive.
It's like 9,000 something.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot.
And where did this come from? I gotta try to understand this, because we didn't have
We didn't budget
Yes.
for it, overtime for the event.
Are we budget for this?
We budgeted for overtime, but during the budget, we explained and everyone agreed that we would offset time that people were working in order to do the events. So, but it's taking all of this for staff to do overtime, and we don't have this much budgeted. If you look on the second page, you'll see what is estimated and what will be remaining for overtime. Bear in mind that we have staff that have to because of their positions, and we did budget and made sure that was covered. But it was an understanding for us when we presented you the budget that we would offset the time by giving them time off. But this far exceed what we expected or thought. But here's the analysis, and we just need to know from you to transfer money to cover the overtime.
And it's close to 9,000?
Because there are 3 employees. For the employees that are salaried, it's $8,390.20. For the employees that are exempt or not salaried, we offer them comp time, but you don't give them time and a half in comp, you just give them time that they work for the comp time. So, but when you add it all together, because we still pay them, it comes to $9,764.89.
I thought, may I, Mayor? I thought that this was, don't we have that budget in the, for this, for the health fair?
We don't
For
budget
this,
salaries in the health fair, in the
I
budget for
thought
the
we
health-
did.
No, we don't. We've never budgeted the salaries.
I thought we did.
No, we've never budgeted salaries in
Is
that.
this budget?
The dollar amount allocated in the actual budget are non-labor expenses. However, every year, the town does incur labor expense to have the health fair because the employees need to be there. So there is money allocated in the budget for that. But to reiterate what the town manager stated, I was under the assumption and took the approach and given direction that for all the town events, those hours would be non-overtime hours. So overtime for the events was not factored in, just regular labor.
Now, this could be a problem because we have other events coming up and that's a lot of money.
Yes, but this one is our big event, which needs all hands on deck. The other events don't require that many bodies for it. The turkey giveaway, we usually have about 5 staff members, because that's only 400 people, and that's usually a drive-through situation. The toy e-giveaway, we usually don't use full staff either on that. But this event is the town's major event. It's the biggest event, and we need all hands on deck for that because of the grocery giveaway and the mass enormity of the event. This is the one big event for the year for the town, every year.
So,
But still, you have the overtime is the overtime, whether it's the biggest, the smallest. What Agatha is doing her job, and I have to commend her on this, because I remember when I spoke to her personally in the very beginning, she had her eye on that, because you have to have a cost. And so this is what she's come forward with, and good job, Agatha. And I know you want us to decide, but at least you brought it forward, and we're seeing it, and there's a real dollar. So it's not the dollars that we're looking at, we have to incorporate labor also, from what I see.
Chris, may I?
Go right ahead.
Chris, what is your feelings on this?
Whatever you all want to do, my question would be where, it says transfer funds, where are you transferring funds from
Yeah,
and
that
what
would be
are you
my-
transferring to?
Next question.
I didn't see that. I just wanted to
Mary?
put that in.
You might as well stay up here, through the chair.
I believe there'd be 2 options available to the commission. One would be to take it from the reserves, or the other option would be to allocate funds that are budgeted for a different, another line item and transfer those funds to cover this expense.
Well, the employees will not work unless they're compensated for it. Unfortunately, because this event is the scale that it is, you need additional bodies. The problem that we have is that some bodies you are not going to be able to not avoid overtime with when it comes to this event, because we are 1 man short in parks. So the parks guys are really needed for the entire week up to the event, which is why the end days, an end day is where you float out a day during the week for something like this. The end days were not an option because some people would get end days and some people wouldn't. Some people would get overtime and some people wouldn't. And to be fair to all of the employees working the event, we need to compensate all of them with overtime. So that's why we have this issue. These are the same bodies that have worked the events for the past 6 years. It's not like that the bodies have changed.
But,
So,
again,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I thought this was in the budget for each event. I thought we were budget for this.
So, adding my 2 cents here, Madam Manager, for future events, can we make sure it's adjusted for comp and for every event going forward from this, that we can work it out correctly so it's done, and then maybe next year we budget a little differently when it comes to these events? Is that possible? I think.
Well, what it's gonna take is planning, and we're supposed to have, an event person now. And this is why I had asked for the schedule, so we could offset different people times. There's some we were gonna have to pay anyway, because you can't ask someone to get up 4 o'clock in the morning and go pick up grocery and don't compensate them for that, because we'll get in trouble with the wage and hour division. When we budget, we take all of that under consideration, wage and hour, because if you have people working and you don't pay them, we get zapped for that. So as managers, we try to look at all of that.
Okay, so what I'm asking is, for events for the future, can we set this up so we don't have this problem for our future events budgeted this year?
When we bring the budget to you, we took out some of the overtime in order to balance the budget, because we were 1.2 million in the hole. And we took away some of the lapsed salaries in order to balance, so we wouldn't have to take out as much out of fund balance. So we thought a feasible thing would be to do this. When we brought it to you and you knew the history, we should have been told at that time and we would have adjusted it. Right now, it's too late because the budget's been passed and adopted.
Okay,
And the
so
only way, may I finish?
No. What I'm asking, because you're not answering the question that I'm asking, can we adjust employees for comp time for the future, so future events coming up, so we don't have this problem on the future events we have for this year?
Well, what we
That's
can
what
do
I'm
is
asking.
with the yes, you can
Okay.
adjust it. It's up to the managers and how they want to spread it out. Like for the turkey, if you know you need 8 hours, then they can take 4 hours off one day, 4 hours another day.
I get that.
So,
I get that. I'm
but we
just
can
asking,
adjust
can
the
we do
budget
this
now.
for the future events that we have coming up? It would make, I believe, Commissioner Cohen and the other commissioners up here understand that, look, we have to do this for this event. It's too late. We're in a stuck spot with this. We're going to have to take care of this problem now, so we have staff to cover this event. But we have events coming up in the future. We have the turkey. We have the
At the Christmas.
the events this community depends on. So we don't get stuck in this predicament again because we haven't budgeted properly this year for these events. Listen, I'm saying if we would have known, we would have had this in there. Okay, it didn't work out this year. We know for next year, but this year, going forward, we can adjust with comp so we don't have to do this again for every event coming forward.
May I, please?
Now you may.
Could you go to page 2 of this analysis? For the whole year, you can see it was $48,000 budgeted for overtime,
Yes.
okay? If you look, most departments are not over. Some are over. If you spread out, and overtime is supposed to be planned. I think I'm right about that. Overtime is supposed to be planned and budgeted. Right now, it's enough time in there, but this event hit us so hard until we didn't know the history of it, and when we brought it to you all, then the adjustment should have been made right there. Right now, we cannot adjust the budget unless we do a budget amendment. And then, in order to do a budget amendment, we gotta know where the money is coming from. And there are two options. You either take it from your reserve, and if you all want us to take a certain amount out of reserve to true them all up, or either you take a project and you reduce that project by the amount of money. Because this budget has been already adopted, so in order to amend it, you gotta move from one line item to another, or either you go to your reserve. That's it. That's the way it can be done for you.
I think you and I are speaking two different languages here.
No,
We're on two different pages.
You're on the same page. She understands, and you understand. We don't need to keep belaboring. I don't think, Madam Mayor. Okay, she's going to do it right.
But we're
You're
talking
asking
about
for
two
it to
different
do it.
things. I'm
I
asking
know.
going forward for every
I know.
event that we adjust for comp time. So we, listen, I'm in the conversation. This is my time to talk.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
what I'm saying is future events from this point forward, the turkey, the Christmas, everything, the Easter, whatever we have coming up, we have not budgeted properly for the overtime for these events that we have. This is what I'm getting from all of this, okay? So
I need to stop you there, I'm sorry. Because when you say not budgeted properly, I look at that as a reflection on my work. No, hold on a second. I look at that as a reflection on my work. And I gave everybody here an opportunity, everybody had the budget way in advance, and everybody had an opportunity to sit down with myself and as well as the Assistant Town Manager Daughtry to go over it.
Okay, so the two of us are pretty new here, and we weren't part of the last year,
use
but
that.
no,
No,
listen.
that's not
Ah,
true.
it's my turn to talk. You
Whoa,
listen to me.
yeah.
Yes, you
I'm
listen to
sorry.
me. It is my turn to
I'm
talk.
sorry.
Can we
Everybody.
just
Okay.
have one person speaking at a time?
I am speaking.
Okay.
This is my time.
Go ahead.
Two of us were not here. We did not understand that we need another $9,000 for staff to cover this event. Okay, we don't know. Neither one of us knew how much it cost per event. We were told, okay, this event gets $14,000. This event gets this thousand. This isn't a personal attack on anybody in here whatsoever. So everybody needs to calm down and have
Yeah,
some
that's
respect
you.
for one another.
Go ahead.
You as well, because you're a big
That's
troublemaker in this mess. Listen to me.
I'm a big trouble.
So
I don't think so.
we have a $9,000 problem for this event. Let's get this event taken care of. For future events we have this year, let's adjust the time accordingly for the staff so we're not getting into that overtime. We're not taking the problems out. I'm trying to fix this event here. We're all trying to fix this event to figure out what we're going to do to cover the staff for this event. Okay? I'm talking events forward, so we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with paying overtime or whatever it is. We didn't know. We weren't aware that there was a staff issue of pay for these events. That's what I'm trying to clarify. We were not aware of that. If that was there, when we planned these events, we would have budgeted in another $9,000 for this event. It wasn't clear. I wasn't clear to me. I don't know about Ray. I can't speak for him. I can't speak for any of the other commissioners. Okay? So, what I'm saying, this event, we figured out right now what we're going to do with this event. Okay? If we're going to get the money, or the event's just going to fall apart because we don't have the staff. We don't have anybody here. Okay? Every event forward, we can adjust with comp time, adjust whatever, figure it out prior ahead so we don't have to sit here on Halloween with my family sitting here. Our family's all waiting for us to do stuff. This is ridiculous that we have to have another meeting for this. I get it. We're in a bad spot for this event. Future events, let's plan ahead and get it done. Next year when we do the budget, we'll understand a little more what we need for these events. Because I was not aware that we were going to have a $9,000 shortfall of staff for this event. I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure you weren't. I'm sure you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
I
Okay?
wasn't. That's
So
where my
none of
point
us
is.
knew that.
That's
All right?
right.
And again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but we weren't aware of it. All right? So let's fix this problem for today. And then for all the other events going forward, we adjust it accordingly so we don't have this money issue here.
May I say something, please?
Yes.
Number one, I think all three of us are new too. And if this event been going on for 6 years, you had to know that you needed the whole town to work the event. Now, this is how we can fix it. Number one, you need to ask us to cut a project, or you transfer funds from the general fund. For the others, we need for each one of the event, turkey, egg, whatever, how much it's gonna cost, so we're gonna do analysis and see how much more staff time is needed. I don't think anybody knew that these events were consuming staff the way that they are. And if you look at budgeting or whatever, they should only be about 10% of what goes on in a town, because there are many other things. Because the way it is with us, all our ad valorem dollars, and you asked me to safeguard the budget and to budget. If you knew all this history, it should have been given to us when we sat down individually with each person and let us know. You're new, we're new.
Ma'am, I've been here a whole 6 months longer than you. None of us were here
So
last
did you
year.
know this?
I did not know this. Did you know this?
How was I gonna know?
Exactly. How were we to know?
So,
The two of us, I'm
Let-
saying.
let me say something.
We weren't aware of it.
I think the problem is we're all new. So when we got the budget, we didn't have a breakdown. So we thought that budget covered everything, including staff, whatever needed for that project, we thought it was covered. It's now we're finding out that staff wasn't budgeted for. But this project right here is 2 days away. So there's not much we can do unless we just let it go and not have it anymore. So I think
agree with-
we're at a point where we have to do this.
I
because
don't think
we're
I don't think anybody's saying we can't do it. I think
No, we're not.
what the town manager is asking is just where do we want to get, to tell us where you want us to take the money to cover it. I think that's really it. Nobody's saying no. We're not, no, I'm not saying no. Go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry.
I have a
Congressman.
question. Can, for the sake of this evening, can we just go ahead and authorize the payment of the overtime, and then staff can work on where the transfers are going to be? I don't think we're going to work that out tonight, right?
No, it's not going to be reported out tonight. No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So that way just-
If
I have a comment to make
if
too.
you're okay with that, I mean, I'll take if you're legal. Is legal's okay with that, and the town manager's okay with that? I'm okay with that.
We can find the money, but we're just gonna have to bring back a budget amendment to, the commission so they can approve it. Because we work at your direction. That's what we do.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not a finance major, I'm not a finance director. I adopt a budget when the budget is given to us. In the past, we have always allotted overtime to the staff for these events. I do not write the budget, I do not create the budget. What you present to me, I'm going to assume is the same thing that's in there from the year before and the year before that, seeing as how this event is 6 years old and nothing has changed. So I would assume that when the budget is presented to me, that the overtime is in there and is allocated the way it has in the past for the events. I could not tell you when I look at the budget whether the overtime is there, how much was budgeted. I go by what was done last year. And I'm assuming that what was done last year is what we're moving forward with. Not that, oh my gosh, we didn't budget for it, but was it budgeted last year? Was it budgeted the year before? Was it budgeted in 2014, 15, 16, and 17? But was the salary budgeted as well for 2014? No, well, the health fair, we originally, I think the very first year we did 25,000. I think
Don't
is what
look
we
at Ray, he
budgeted.
wasn't even born yet.
I believe the very first year was 25,000. I know last year from my receipts that I looked at, it was 14,192, and I thought it was 15,000. So I do not know. I know that in the past, for all the years that I've sat on this dais, salary was never taken into account for the events. When we budget $1,000 for a holiday thing, that cannot possibly cover salaries and candy and activities for the kids. We budget $1,000 for the bags. That cannot possibly cover salaries for the grocery giveaway. It covers bags. So I'm not sure what happened and how it happened. I just know that right now I'd like to move forward. I don't believe in taking overtime away that has always been paid in the past for employees. The employees are giving up their time with their family to be here to provide for the community. And that's the purpose and goal of this event. So I would like to move forward in transferring the money so that the employees can be paid, since they are giving up their Saturday to provide to the community.
How
Go
you?
ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna speak. First of all, I don't like being blamed, okay? And I am not a big part of this. This is not my baby. However, so I don't like being blamed, okay? All of us sitting up here rely on staff, either this staff or the staff in the past. And we never heard anything about it. 3 commissioners have been here, and they never told us, right, Ashira and right,
No.
Tina? They never said that it was a
Well-
now they finally found, and I heard what Agatha said, and she's trying to straighten it out the right way. So we had people in here that were, as you know, not sharing it right with us, Ashira. That's the only thing you could assume. You don't do the finance, neither do I. That's up to this gentleman and other professionals that we have, including the managers. So we didn't get the information unless somebody was doing something different, or they were taking the money when it was short and just not telling us and doing the transfers and all that the right way that they're trying to do. But I am gonna put on the record, don't blame me. And I'm the big part of this mess.
Can we move on and just
Yeah, we'll
authorize this
move
and
on,
get
but
going?
you know what, Attorney Ryan, why don't you stop for a minute and we're airing this. Now, what I think we should do, and I'm giving my opinion, everybody got to talk, let's straighten it out where we can complete the event and then spread it out. The managers will do it, and we can come up with the money. But this teaches us a lesson for the future. So, what kind of motion do you want?
May I
Could I
speak?
say something, please?
Go ahead.
Did we cut any of the overtime out of the budget that was budgeted last year, Harry?
No, ma'am. The amount allocated this year is exactly
Thank
the
you.
same as last year.
So last year, how were the
Budgeted,
employees-
budgeted,
okay,
budget.
So last year, how were the employees paid for this event? Because they were given overtime.
I'm not, that's a
Can I,
separate,
let me finish?
sure.
It was budgeted, none of the overtime has been cut. But now, if you look, what we are doing is making an analysis of what is actually happening in this town when it comes to the events. The events, the staff should not, only about 10% or maybe 2% should be used to fund those events. So what we're giving you is to let you know, you're looking at what we budget for it, yes, but it takes manpower and hours to do it. Now, none of the overtime went up, but there are some positions now, if you notice, administration is over. But we're gonna rectify that when you get the report from the HR consultant. But right now, you have to pay them because they're hourly. Because one thing we don't wanna get in trouble is not paying people for hours worked. Now, it's been misconstrued that the overtime budget was taken away. When we did an analysis, because we still got people that got to monitor all of this overtime, that got to monitor the lakes, they got to monitor, certain times the park guys come in certain times and you have to pay them time and a half for those times. All that's still there. What this gives you is an analysis of these events and what we gotta do. Maybe we gotta take out the pen and the pencil and cut out some things. Maybe it's too big for the town, because right now, if you got ad valorem, that's only 6.1 million and 6.5 going to BSO, you're already in the hole. And you talk about how you want to transfer money to the fund balance when you got to rob from Peter to pay Paul. That's the way budgeting goes. The only way, if you got a bank account and you keep taking money out and out, that bank account is going down. So what we're doing as stewards, good stewards of your money, is showing you where it's going and how it's going and where it's going. Now, if we take 3 more events and this same thing happens, people were paid, but all of your overtime money will be gone. None of the overtime money in the past, and you can check the budget line by line, year by year, it's still there.
All I'm asking is that this doesn't happen again for another event. That we adjust, we figure out a way to make it work prior to, so we're not last minute before the next event. As this is nonsense that we're dealing with this short a time frame.
And we
You
have
know.
asked for plans prior to. We have asked for plans prior to. We have asked for plans prior to. So what I'm asking you for each event that everybody is over, that you tell us what it takes to run that position. And we can run the budget and the numbers and the money, and we'll let you know. But we can't do that tonight. I suggest that you move, that we pay it, find the money, and then we'll bring it back to you where we're taking it from.
For years, I was always, again, under the impression that when we budget money for these events, that was paying staff. So that's all I want to say.
We know that wasn't paying staff, because if you
But
budgeted
that's-
$1,000, where do you, the
I
salary
don't
alone
know,
for a
but
staff
that's
member.
what I always thought, for overtime.
No, they have stated on the record, if you listen to the minutes, always, salary has never been taken into account for the budget of
And
the
there's
event.
the
I'm just saying that's what I thought.
No, salary's separate, the events, what we spend are separate. Do we budget, manpower hours and getting a quote for a golf cart or anything? We don't budget time spent in labor for anything that we do as
I
part
thought
of the
for-
item that it's for. That's always part of the salary section of the budget. If that's the case, do you wanna put a dollar amount to
I'm
each
talking
person's
about
one?
the events.
Even with the events, they've
I-
said that repeatedly on the
okay.
record. Natasha said it, Dr. Levy said it.
Well, I don't
That has
remember.
always been the case. You
If I
budget
had
for
the
the
minutes
event.
and I could refresh on that, but unfortunately, we don't even have minutes.
Those minutes go back longer than just the last 2 years.
I don't remember
Last
that.
question. If,
Go ahead.
if we're done discussing it, can somebody ask the attorney how he wants to resolve it tonight and then come back, as the manager suggested?
All done? Yeah, just a resolution authorizing the payment of an amount not to exceed $9,800 for the overtime, and then you're done with it, and then you figure out later where you're gonna allocate it from.
Go ahead now. Say, spell it out. Read it, if you would.
Would you like me to read the resolution now? A resolution of the Town Commission of Town of Pembroke Park authorizing allocation of overtime expenses for the health fair, superseding conflicting resolutions and provide effective date, whereas the town did not anticipate employee overtime in an amount of approximately $9,800 in excess of the budgeted salary for the health fair, and whereas the Town Commission desires to authorize the payment of overtime expenses in an amount of approximately $9,800 for the health fair event. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, Section 1, that the Town Commission authorizes the payment of overtime expenses in an amount not to exceed $9,800 for the health fair. Section 2, that all resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict herewith being the same are hereby superseded to the extent of such conflict. Section 3, that all resolutions, parts of resolutions in conflict herewith being the same are hereby superseded to the extent of such conflict.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call. Vice Mayor Clark?
Yeah.
Commissioner Conley?
No.
Court Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner DeVette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed? Yes. There you go. Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye. Let's trick or treat.